Hi guys, and welcome to OG Cars. In today's video, I did buy another car. If you watched the yellow Mini video, then you would have seen this one announced very briefly, but I thought I'd introduce it to you properly. This is my Clubman 1275 GT. So this is a 1978 model, so it's one of the later 1275 GTs that they did. Now, I've always really liked the 1275 GT. You guys may know I recently bought that yellow Mini 1000/850. If you haven't checked out the video, please do. It was a lovely car, but my friend Marcus was very interested in having an earlier Mini, so I decided to sell it to him because I found this. Basically two birds, one stone. I could get rid of one and get another one in. As you guys know, I've managed to get the red Sprite anyway, so I've already basically replaced this. Ultimately, this is a better spec than the Sprite, but the Sprite's in better condition, so I'm going to plan to keep that one and probably move this on, but we'll see what happens. So with plans in motion, this car got delivered and I parked it in my garage, and that is exactly where it stayed because I did absolutely nothing to this car. I bought it, parked it in the garage, and just today I've decided to take it out and clean it, and that's pretty much it. I've done a couple of little bits. I've put a GT gear knob on it, I've put a rear badge on it, well, it's a sticker, sort of overlay style, and I've put the white stripes on it. They're not the best, but they make it look proper. What I always wanted when I was buying this, and basically my vision, was to have it as original as possible. So I wanted to revert this colour. As you may be able to tell, this is not an original Mini colour. This is like a dark blue, almost metallic-y, not really sure, not quite. But yeah, it's a darker style blue. You can see just on the inside of that inner quarter panel that there is a lighter shade of blue. But the original colour that this car was the very, very nice and probably iconic 1275 GT colour. It's like yellowy, bronzy, beigey, yellowy colour thing. I butchered that, and I'm sure someone will tell me what the colour actually is because I haven't bothered to look it up. But my vision for this was original colour, go down the size on the brakes, get the 10-inch wheels on it, just go all original, get rid of the modified, well, I say modified, the bolt-on plastic arches, get rid of them, and just put the flat chrome trims on. I just wanted to make it look original as possible, basically. But now that it's being replaced by the Sprite, I think someone would probably have this as it is. It's not perfect in condition. As you can see, the paintwork is bubbling in places. There's, you know, a few scratches, a few little dings, but ultimately it's presentable enough, as you can see from afar, I suppose. And it's all there, you know. Some of the things aren't working, so, you know, the wipers, the lights and stuff like that, annoyingly aren't working. I imagine there's a simple issue somewhere there. My yellow Mini was just the same, and I never bothered looking at the wipers on that. I just ended up selling it with that issue. So yeah, annoyingly a few little things don't work on this one, but it is a running and driving car. You'll hear it shortly. But I just wanted to show you the interior now, because that's been played with as well. That's another thing I would have put to original, but you know, all of these things in my mind, all of the things I wanted to do to make it visually original and what I want is going to cost me a lot of money, although it probably would make me a lot of money at the end because the originals are very desirable now. But ultimately the changes on this is probably to someone's taste, not really mine. I'm not too keen on the interior. I've seen a few people say they like it though, so you never know. It's the, well, I say it's the checkered style, like, you know, it was factory, but someone's done this light and dark blue checkered seat pattern. They've put the big wooden dash in, which, to be fair, I am a fan of. I like the 3 clusters in there. It'd be nice if the rev counter worked, but I do believe the other gauges are working. We've got the mounty steering wheel in there, which I had in the yellow Mini as well, which I don't mind in this. I think it quite suits, but in the yellow Mini, I wanted that one to be original as well. So yeah. I've got, as I say, that GT gear knob on there. I found that at the NEC, so I thought it was a good idea to do that. But yeah, this is actually a really clean car as well. I mean, if you look under the carpets and under the sills, it's in really good condition. And if I open the boot as well, it's just really quite clean. You know, these really can rust, and I've been quite lucky with the ones I've bought so far, and this is actually in really good condition. Seeing it out here like this, and after the pictures I've taken of it, I've taken loads just in case I send it to auction, does make me think that maybe, you know, I should keep it now. I always get this when I'm umming and ahhing on selling a car, because, you know, it does just look really good, even as it sits, you know, with the 12-inch mini lights, the plastic arches, And that blue colour does look great. It's just it wasn't quite the spec I was going for. If it was the spec I wanted, I mean, I would have kept this anyway and sold the Sprite after I got it in the trade deal. But ultimately the Sprite's in really good condition. So as I say, this one is available. But let's talk about the engine now. So it's a 1275. It's been touched a little bit. It's got this larger noisy centre exit exhaust which points at the floor. It's got a HIF 38 carburettor, and you know, this car runs and drives and stops fine. It's got a few new parts on it. I decided to do a new rotor arm and distributor cap as they look quite worn, and the ignition leads look like they've been nibbled at the ends as well. So I've replaced them and the spark plugs while I was there. Ultimately, this car, a little bit of history on this one. It had been parked up for a very long time. I believe it was deceased estate, and basically a trader bought it and used it for 1 or 2 local shows apparently, and then decided to sell it. So there I was. Ended up buying it, had it delivered from Leeds down to here, and then yeah, not done anything with it either. So this car's just been stuck in one garage, gone to another garage, been used once or twice, gone to my garage, used, you know, just to the garage and just out now, and that is actually it. So, you know, someone just really needs to take on this car and really love it and enjoy it. So there's a little introduction on the car. I hope you've enjoyed it. Ultimately, you may not see it again anyway, depending on what happens, but we'll leave you on a few sounds of the engine and exhaust before we go. Like, comment and subscribe, and we shall see you all in the next one.